What up, what up, what up?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon and Blunts. I am Jimmy the J.
Slang.
And we are here with 2 new episodes this week. If you haven't already, before we start, please subscribe, like, share, comment. If you're on YouTube, if you just want to listen, you can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you can stream any sort of podcast, you can find us. You can also find us on different and various social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter.
And it is early today, so it's morning here on the East Coast. So
it's about 8:30 in the morning.
So no bourbon today.
There will be no bourbon, but we will wake and bake today, my friend.
Yeah, wake and bake is a must.
That's right. And I have here little banana clips is the strain. And then we have our oversized ashtray for our cigars, compliments of Dino.
Good old Dino. Which Dino, we haven't forgot about you. You will be on the stream soon.
Have you talked to Dino about when when the best time for him to come on is?
No, we talked the other day actually about the cigars, and but no.
Okay.
So we're talking to you now, Dino.
All right. Yeah. So
right
anyways,
now. Dino, we gotta get you on. Let me know. I'll hit you up on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we could figure out a good day.
So we'll spark this
little wake and bake.
Yeah, do a little wake and bake. We'll spark this tree here. For those of you who I don't know how you all light your joints, but technically the proper way, I would imagine, to light your joint would be to light it first. I see a lot of people actually hold it to their lips, dude. I've done this from time. Sometimes I still do it to this day when it's like if it's super windy, I need to light it. But
yeah.
Some people do that.
Well, that's when you cover it if it's super windy.
Yeah, but when you do that, you're like Snoop Dogg, and this fucking thing is like blazing up. You know, so we should light it first, then it gets a nice little even burn.
Now you can also see a little bit of change to the studio again. Billy has his flag behind him now. Finally,
that's right. I do.
If you guys, I'll get a full shot of this flag and one of the. I'll shoot some B-roll for everyone so they could see his racist flag up there.
Fucking bastard. Yeah, that's the sad part is that people like you have an American flag or this is a 1776 flag.
Wait till I put that Russian flag over here. That shit's going up, bro. I'm telling you. There's or German. You guys think I should do German or I am German and Italian, so I could put either one of those up.
You could. But I like the alien giving the middle finger.
But the alien is staying. The alien's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but then you couldn't. I don't know how you fit another flag back there.
I get a small baby flag.
A small baby flag?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So, this is, that's banana clips, everybody.
So, wake and bake. Everybody that is partaking, congrats and enjoy.
Yeah, but there will be no alcohol this morning because that might ruin the rest of the day.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. We got things to do, buddy.
I actually got I was home last night for 4th of July. It's July 5th today, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yeah, and that's why the flag is where it is today.
Yeah, I haven't seen the studio since last week, so it was very nice to come in and that was a nice little surprise, dude. Because you've been constantly busting my balls about getting an American flag in the background. You know, it'd be nice if there was an American eagle in the background.
Don't give me any ideas, bro. I'll get like an American eagle that's stuffed and put that bitch right here. It'll be on the corner of your seat, like behind you, perched.
like a parrot.
Yeah, just on your shoulder. But yeah, so we're still changing it up, and you guys can't see all the changes in here, but it looks a little different, a little better.
Yeah, it's looking a lot better actually.
Yeah.
So
I actually shot a video for Digital Slang in here too.
How'd it turn out?
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like this side, so behind me.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a lot easier.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, my man. So just kind of listening to some of your feedback out there. We're going to be doing one of our segments. We're going to do it each episode.
Yeah.
And shall we get into it right now, buddy?
Yeah, we can. So.
All right. So give it to me.
It's time for
What's Inside You. That's right. So we got a little sound effects.
Yeah, we'll do it one more time. Ready? It's time for
What's Inside You. That's right. It is time for What's Inside You.
I don't know if you could tell. Like, could you guys tell that's 2 people?
I feel like it is kind of hard to tell.
It sounded like it was one person.
It did. That is me and you.
So the beginning that says it's time is me, and then what's inside you is you. Let's hear it again. It's time for
What's Inside You.
Kind of sounds like the same person.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. So I got some questions here. And do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You can go. I got to pull mine up. You can go
right.
first.
Okay. So yeah, so we're going to do this each episode because so many people actually liked it. So we'll include 1 or 2 questions each episode. We'll do 2 questions, and we'll knock it out. All right. So you ready, buddy?
Yep.
All right. What's been your greatest epiphany in life? Do you know what an epiphany even
I
means?
do. Like, that's a hard question, man.
Well, we got to go deep.
It's basically like, what's your greatest realization?
Greatest realization.
Yeah. Wow. I might. If this is rapid fire, this might be a problem. But
Right.
is it rapid fire?
I mean, that's what we've been doing.
So greatest epiphany, rapid fire. That people suck.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. Great epiphany that dogs are better than people.
Okay. All right. We'll discuss it in a second.
Yeah.
How would you want to be remembered when you die? How do you want to be remembered?
Somebody that was real as fuck, but probably rubbed people the wrong way.
So you want to rub people the wrong way.
No, but
That's probably how you'll
people don't like honesty. That's what I've come to learn, and that might be even my greatest epiphany.
Okay.
People don't like honesty. I own a business, and I'm very real to people, and people always think like, "Oh, why don't you want the work, or why are you turning this job down or that job down?" And because I'm being honest with you, and there's a big risk in taking that job.
I got you.
Right, but they just think I'm being like an asshole and don't want to work.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm literally in real time weighing out in my head if that shit is too much of a risk or not, because I'm wholesale printing.
Right.
So it's not like I'm making retail money.
Right.
So if I print 100 shirts and we're fucking going off on a tangent here.
That's okay, buddy. Finish it out.
If I'm printing 100 sweatshirts,
Yeah.
and I mess up 2.
Right now, that's profit loss, big profit loss.
Yeah, I'm making $1.50 maybe each hoodie.
Right.
For like a print.
Right.
If I mess up 2 hoodies, that's $100.
Yeah.
That I'm buying.
Right. Exactly.
So when people come to me with like crazy jobs, I'm like, no, I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
Not touching it. And
Yeah.
they're like, why don't you want to do it? I'm like, I do want to do it, but I'm telling you right now, if a couple pieces get messed up, it's on you.
Right.
Not me.
Right.
Like, then I'll do it. But people don't like honesty, in my opinion.
Okay.
People are too sensitive. People, they just can't take it. They can't take the truth.
So yeah,
Unless it's good. Then,
for sure.
then they want it.
That is kind of an interesting thing, and I've kind of found this out with myself lately. Not me personally, but just being a active observer of society. And it's very interesting how we're so willing to lie to someone else
To make them feel better.
to make them feel better
Yeah,
about
it's bullshit.
themselves. And it's like,
I get it, because we've all done it.
we've all done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, especially as I've gotten older, I'm like, you know what? I always want to tell the truth. And even if that truth may not feel good to somebody,
Yeah.
but if it's going to help them in the long
In
run,
the long run, but a lot of people don't see that.
for sure.
Like, they just see, like, why are you being a dick?
You're not being a dick. You're just telling the truth.
Right.
And it's like, so this is my other, sometimes my beef with people. It's like, you ask me a question.
Yeah. I get this all the time,
Right.
dude.
Like, you ask me a question.
If you don't want the real answer,
then don't ask me the question.
yeah. But you know the real answer, because that's why you're asking the question to me, right? Don't beat around the bullshit.
Right,
like, if you're looking for somebody just to pep you up,
Right,
I'm
right.
not that motherfucker.
Right,
I
right.
will.
Right. You know, it's so funny when somebody asks me a question, a lot of times I always, before I give a response, I'm like, do you want the truth or do you want me to make you feel good?
And sometimes, yeah, for you females out there, by the way, don't ever ask that question.
No, I'll tell you what, my princess, man, she asked me a question, I tell her the damn truth.
Well,
and she appreciates that out of me.
Yeah,
Because she asked me, because she knows I will be honest with her.
Yeah.
If she's like, all right, do you like these shorts? And no, I don't.
Yeah, but I've had a different experience. So,
well, look, dude, we've all had
that's
that.
why you and Skylar are together.
That's true.
Yeah.
That does work. And she always says, she's like, I always appreciate your honesty. 'Cause
Yeah, that's
I know,
what you want.
I know you're going to give me the truth.
That's what it should be.
And that's why I ask you. So, I respect that.
A lot of people
attitude.
can't handle the truth.
A lot of people can't, buddy. And at the end of the day, this just goes for you. If I ask you a question, I want you to tell me the truth, whether it hurts my feelings or not.
I do.
Because I know you care about me and you love me, even though you don't express that love all the time. I express that love to you, and I know you're going to tell me the truth, and I appreciate that.
Definitely tell you the truth.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so I think you actually
Answered like both with the same thing.
the same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing. All right.
Oh no, well, dogs better than people.
Yeah. All right.
You gotta answer them too.
Okay, so which two questions? Greatest epiphany. So rapid fire. Greatest epiphany was probably actually when I just turned 30. When I turned 35, I realized my parents don't know. They don't know everything. You know what I mean? And they still don't know everything.
No one does.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. And that was one of my greatest epiphanies then.
Wow, they're not perfect.
Right. They are not perfect. And then how do you want to be remembered? Someone who was a kind and exceptionally hardworking and motivated individual. So I guess
Okay,
off
that's
the top
good.
of my head.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, and just to kind of maybe elaborate, if I need to, do I need to elaborate more?
Go for it.
Okay. So I guess when I turned 35, so I just turned 36, so it's over a year ago. When I turned 35, I remember sitting around my house thinking about it. And I was like, wow, like I am the same age then at 35 as my father would have been having me at
Having a baby.
having me as I would have been, if my dad was 35, I would have been 3 or 4. So I turned 35. I was like, shit, like if I was my father, I would have had a 4-year-old. And that felt very weird to me because I still feel like I'm 15 years old.
Yeah.
You know? And I realized like just how little I actually know.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about my father and my mother too. But thinking about my dad and realizing like, oh, he didn't know anything either. He was just trying to figure it out, just like I'm trying to figure it out.
But I think there is no like end to that. There's no end to it.
And that was the other part of the realization, dude. Like looking at my parents now in their 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're still just trying to figure it out. So I'm like, oh, we're just children in an older body. That's about it. Like we're just kids just trying to figure things out, and it's just people being in an older body. So now I start looking at people like, oh, like you're just a big child. You know what I mean? Like
that's how I want to remain.
Right. And that's kind of how I want to remain too. Like I still think like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm a grown man and I'm an adult.
Yeah, I don't feel my age at all.
No.
Mentally, I'm like 12.
No, that's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
And then I want to be like, I genuinely like I love and care about other people. Like I want people to say like, oh, he was a super kind, like thoughtful human being, courteous to others. And I never want anybody to ever question like my work ethic and my passion for life. So I really try to put forth every day a strong work ethic, and I think that shows. So
You're on your way there, buddy.
Thanks, pal.
You know, another 2 years, and everybody can say we remembered that guy. It's fucking.
What do you got?
All right, you ready?
Ready.
Pixel Fold, by the way.
Oh yeah, I want to. Oh, we can talk about it. You've released like a few videos this past week on that, haven't you?
Yes, actually, they're doing very well. Actually,
Yeah.
What are you most thankful for?
Most thankful for my body. I'll elaborate, bitch. Like, just ask me the next question.
Well, I gotta be a bitch.
I know what you were thinking. I know you're thinking something stupid.
Yeah, of course I am. What does your dream life look like?
So my dream life, I think at this point, looks like me and Skylar living in 2 different locations, 2 different times of the year.
Colorado and where?
Colorado and probably the Carolinas, maybe. Also, within that time frame, I'd say within the next 5 to 10 years, also buying 2 different properties in 2 different locations, obviously for us, but also I would love for our families to be able to enjoy those, family and friends to enjoy those properties as well if they want to, and living a financially free life. That doesn't mean I have to have $10 million in the bank.
Be nice.
It would be nice, but what that means is being able to basically live below your means
and being able to do whatever you want.
And being able to
That to me is wealth. Just being able to do whatever you want.
I would say wealth is the freedom of time.
Yeah.
You can make 20 million a year, dude.
But if you're working all day long, it doesn't matter.
What does it matter? Because you don't have your freedom. You don't have your time.
Yep.
You know, I'm fine making.
But if I'm making 20 million a year, I'm working for like 2 years and then I'm never working
done.
again.
Right, because I don't need an
Never
exuberant
working.
amount of money.
No, 20 million will last me forever.
Forever, dude.
Yeah.
It lasts my family forever.
Forever.
You know? And actually, and that's like
I'd stay right where I am right now.
dude, that's the saying. Like, I don't need a bunch of things. It's about freedom of time.
Yes.
So part of that dream life is, and that's what we're working towards right now. And actually, probably the next episode, we're going to talk about different side hustles. Slang and I were talking about that. You know, we've been talking about that. We wanted to share some things that we've done in our quest for more financial freedom that might help other people. So
Let's go back and elaborate.
All right. So, yeah. So freedom.
My body.
Oh, the body.
My body.
body. I view it as it's the only one I'm ever going to get.
Yeah.
I'll never get another one. Right. And this is a precious gift that I've been given.
A vessel.
It is some type of vehicle for my
Your
energy,
soul.
my soul, my spirit, my universal consciousness, whatever you want to call it. And I need to be able to take care of it. And
You got to feed it.
and what a great tool. What a great
It's amazing.
instrument
Yeah.
to have. So I am so thankful for it and so appreciative for it because there's so many people out there that, you know, aren't able to do what you and I can do, dude. You know, they're in a wheelchair or missing limbs or this or that. I'm not saying their life is less than, but I just don't want to take what I have
It's
for
just
granted.
different.
It's
just
different. It's
yeah.
different. And I'm very thankful that I have what I have because I understand that this could be taken away like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I'm going to fuck with you for that answer. It's a good answer.
thank you.
God damn it.
Thank you. You were trying. You were.
I
you
was
wanted to
waiting
rip
for
my ass.
waiting for the door to open. Like just a crack. Just show me a crack so I could just kick that bitch in.
Oh man, what do you think? If you're watching or listening on YouTube, drop a comment if you know what Slang was going to say to me on that one. So, anyways, pal, should we transition?
Yes.
All right. So the main topic of today, folks, is if you haven't been listening or watching the news, the FAA has now granted this finally happened for all you Back to the Future folks. Finally granted approval for the first electric flying car.
Yes.
All right. So when you sent that to me, I was like, I literally was thinking like, oh my God, Marty McFly, Back to the Future, baby.
You know they bring that up in the article.
They do bring. It's so funny because when I was reading the article, it did talk about that.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, dude? Or just before we get into the article, what's your thought?
I'm so hyped up by things like this.
Okay,
I remember back in high school, and that was a long time ago.
it was for you.
There were news articles that my teacher, Mr. Scott, for those that went to the Wood, Mr. Scott, he was my English teacher, and he literally had a newspaper article of a flying car.
Oh, cool.
Like back then. This was like 1989.
Wow.
Like he had a newspaper article with a flying car, and it was flying. Like
Right.
it was the same height as the telephone poles. So all the way back then, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Like, and now... But the certification that they have, it's not.
It's like a special.
It's just for testing.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's dive into the article a little bit. So for those of you who don't know,
And I am going to put this link in the video
Okay.
on YouTube, and I'll probably post a little bit of the clip because they do show it flying.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. So the title of the article, you can find this on a lot of different news platforms. This just happens to be on Fox Business, but it says, world's first fully electric flying car approved by FAA. Company now accepting pre-orders.
300K.
300K. When I saw that number,
It's
I was
not
like,
bad.
I don't think that was
dude.
too bad.
It's not bad.
So it says, a California company that's building a flying electric car is now taking pre-orders. Aleph Aeronautics flying car has been given a special airworthiness certification from the Federal Aviation Administration, meaning the company will be allowed to road or air test the car, the company said in a news release. The fully electric vehicle with a hydrogen option available. Now, wait a minute. So when I read the hydrogen option,
That's a higher option.
yeah, but
Yeah.
didn't the Hindenburg blow up because of hydrogen?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, I would imagine they figured out the safety.
I mean, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
The Hindenburg was just a balloon filled with hydrogen.
Right. I would imagine
It's probably a little safer.
You would
hope.
You would hope. You
Yeah.
would hope, right?
It still seems sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, considering, we just talked last week about the submarine implosion.
Yeah, and that thing has good range though.
It did. It's actually going to talk about it in here. I think it's like 200
250 on the ground because this drives and flies.
Yes.
So the whole like premise of this thing is to drive normal.
Right.
250 miles of range.
Yep.
And then if you get stuck in traffic, you can vertically take off and get the hell out of Dodge. That's what they're like touting it as.
Okay. All right. So this fully electric vehicle is a low-speed vehicle that can be driven up to 200 miles on public roads and fits into a regular garage. But it can also launch vertically into the air with a flying range of 110 miles.
That's some mileage right there in
That's
the air.
it, according to Aleph's website. The company's Model A can fly forward above the obstacles until a desired destination is reached. The San Mateo-based company says the driver and the cabin are stabilized by a unique gimbaled rotating cabin design. I thought that was kind of interesting. Aleph touts the car's ability to avoid traffic, you're just saying that, fly in any direction while given a cinematic 180-degree view for safe and enjoyable flight. Customers can pre-order the vehicle, which can seat up to 2 people, is expected to cost around $300,000. An FAA spokesperson told Fox Business it issued a special airworthiness certificate for the Armada Model 0 aircraft in June 12th of 2023. This certificate allows the aircraft to be used for limited purposes, including exhibition, research, and development. This is not the first of its kind for which the FAA has issued a special airworthiness certificate.
This has happened before.
Yeah, absolutely. But this seems to be a little bit more advanced than some of the previous.
And they're taking pre-orders.
Yes, so they're. It seems like they're probably fairly confident.
If they're taking pre-orders, then I mean they're going to sell them.
Chances are, or at least with the hope anyway, they can probably generate enough money.
One.
I would want one too.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an early adopter.
No, like Gen 2 or something.
Yeah, I don't want to be an early adopter.
There's some people are going to be dying.
For sure. We'll talk about that in a second. But Aleph first unveiled the car last October and said it's already taken a strong number of pre-orders from people and businesses. The FAA is working on policies for the takeoff and landing of electric vehicles, the company said. We're excited to receive the certificate from the FAA, the CEO said, who co-founded the company in 2015.
That's when Back to the Future came out.
In 2015?
Yep.
Wasn't 2015 in that movie, though?
That's the date that he went back to.
Okay. I'm having a hard time with the founder's name. Decovey and co-founders Christine Kisley, Pavel Markin, Oleg Petrower were first inspired to try to create a flying car in 2015, and they realized it was the same year when Marty McFly drove one in Back to the Future. That's funny. During one of the science fiction lectures, Jim Decovey talked about how flying cars are finally possible in 2015, the website says, but he lacked technical skills to take on such a complicated task by himself. The four met at a cafe to design a flying car. Decovey added that the certification allows us to move closer to bringing people an environmentally friendly and faster commute, saving individuals and companies hours each week. This is one small step for planes, one giant step for cars. All right, what's your initial thoughts, dude?
I love it, but insurance is going to be outrageous.
Dude, I can imagine insurance being through the freaking
It would
roof.
be so expensive. People won't be able to afford it because of the insurance. Like flying cars.
Right. So, like, I was actually thinking about this yesterday when I was driving around.
And would you need you're gonna need a license? You're gonna become a pilot.
Right. You're probably going to have some type of special license,
Yep.
right? Just like you have
Just like a motorcycle license.
or a boater's license,
Yeah.
right? You have some sort of endorsement on your driver's license.
Yep.
But I was driving around yesterday. And I was just kind of like looking. And then I was driving down one of the roads, and it was just like covered
With trees.
trees.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself, like, how's
You're
that going to work?
You're not flying out of there.
You're not flying
You're
out
either
of
flying over it already,
Right.
or you're just driving through it.
Right. And then the other part is, okay, so now let's say you're stuck in traffic, right?
Fuck this. I'm out, dude. I'm out.
Right, but you're on a highway.
Yeah.
And what's over top of highways?
Cars, driving.
Overpasses.
Yeah, but you're going to be able to go over them.
Signs and shit like that,
Well,
right?
Yeah, you got to be.
But like how
there has to be a limit.
How high does this thing go? I don't think it said that. In
It
the article.
flew. Did you watch the video?
I didn't. I was reading on my phone, so I didn't watch the video.
So the video, it's a very short video, but it's just the car taking straight off vertically in Dubai.
Okay.
And it went pretty high. It was, I mean, much higher than anything on the road.
Right.
Like probably 3 times as high as anything on the road.
All right. So you're saying like 200 feet?
Yeah, it was probably 200 feet.
Okay. So
it didn't do anything else. It just went vertical.
yeah, I just, from a logistics standpoint of it all, I just see that to be very hard to do.
I mean,
Right. Like,
well, the logistics of it, yes. Like,
Right.
how do you make it legal?
right. How do you make, like, what is the standards behind it?
Yeah,
Right?
like how does everybody just get access to it?
Well, that wouldn't happen at first,
Well, the rich would get it first
for sure. Like,
because they're the only ones affording the insurance.
yeah, I mean, look, you're gonna have a $300,000 vehicle. Oh, and it flies. Okay, so
And you're not a pilot.
Right, I was gonna say, right, and you have zero
You're
skills.
not a pilot, and you're asking me to let you fly around fucking Jersey.
Right, in a $300,000 piece of machinery.
Your insurance is $100,000 a year.
Yeah, well, I could easily see that, dude.
Absolutely.
Right, so insurance companies probably going to make a boatload if this actually does ever.
They're
come
probably
through.
pushing for it, but there's going to be a lot of accidents.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't see. I just can't
But-
see how that works.
Well, all electric, right? So no gas stations needed.
True.
So they're not going to be crowding that space.
No, but it's like, okay, so here we are, Slang. We're stuck in traffic, dude. Let's fucking boop, and we're cruising.
While we're fucking smoking a joint.
Right. Flying around and shit like
Yo,
that.
let me
like,
get the wheel, bro. But that's the thing. You talk about a joyride. You don't think people are going to be going on joyrides? You know what I mean? Like they might have a law in place to where you can only stay airborne for, I don't know, just until the obstacle is gone, and then you have to land. Like you can't just take off and fly for 100 miles.
right, but then it's like,
That's going to cause more problems.
how do you know it's safe? Or do you just like stop midair and just lower down?
Everybody's going to stop.
Right. Now, right, exactly. So
Yeah.
like we're in traffic. We elevate, we go across, and now like, all right, dude, it's time to fucking come down. And then the traffic's
There's too
just
many cars. Yeah, there's too many
like,
cars.
right. How you
like
gonna
you're
come
on the
down?
fucking Garden State Parkway or the
Right,
Turnpike.
right. What are you
trying
gonna
to
like,
land?
We gotta go.
They have to have things on the side, like off road, like a.
That's how they do
like
it.
A
Okay.
helo, like a helipad.
like a helipad.
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
Yeah.
So then the other thing is like, okay, so let's say, dude, every major highway has one of these, right?
Yeah.
So now you have to maybe either take off from one
Yeah.
and land on one
Or
with
you can just
designated
drive.
routes, or drive to one
Yeah.
and then take off with a designated route. But then you're going to have to communicate with other people that are freaking maybe flying in the air
It's
of
so
who's
hard.
going to use that pad.
There's so many ways this can go.
Right. Like
Yeah.
you really have to think about it. The logistics of it all.
Wouldn't you have to clear the airspace? Like fucking.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
like the airplane, like airspace has to be clear, and airspace is monitored everywhere. You can't even fly drones without special certification
dude.
now, and people get arrested
yeah.
for flying drones.
My cousin works for the FAA.
Yeah,
And she's like, this is like highly regulated.
yeah. Airspace is no joke, bro.
No. So I'm wondering, like, well, maybe this can only go a certain height.
Which it probably will. It's not. They're not gonna be able to let it just take off. And go.
No. Which I don't know what
But drones fly high as fuck.
they do. Right. But I don't think they can only go. I think they can only go a certain height, and then they get a warning, like, hey, now you're entering into commercial airspace.
So I have a drone and I've flown it, and I've had to get the certification for it.
Okay. You're only allowed to go so high, though, right?
No, you can go as high. I never had an issue with that.
Okay.
But I went as high as the drone could go.
Does it give you a warning, like, hey, you're entering commercial airspace? Because I've seen one that
you
had
have
that.
when I was flying, you can see where you're not supposed to go on the map as you're flying.
Got it.
This was a long time ago too. My drone, I still have my drone, but the batteries are dead. I need to buy more batteries. It's a good drone too.
Yeah.
Good drone.
Yeah.
But those things go high, dude.
Yeah.
and they're fast.
They are fast.
Now, this did say like it would be a slow flight. So whatever that means, probably 40, 50 miles an hour still.
Well, let's see. It might have said it in here. Hold on. Let me go back real quick. Oh, okay. So I saw 200 miles. So
that's the range.
Yeah, it's a range. So okay, so it doesn't give us speed.
No, but somewhere on there it says like slow.
Yeah, it did say slow.
Like slow flight or something.
Yeah, but it didn't say that.
Maybe 30,
speed.
40 miles an hour in the air.
Well, I can see this. I guess the only way this would work, you got to start small with it, right? Like maybe you have the helipad idea, and it's on certain highways. You know, you can only use it, going to and from those pads. You got to communicate.
But what if it's going to be crazy because there's no path, there's no roadway. You know what I mean? So you got people coming. Say you got people coming from fucking Camden going to this way, and then you got people coming from the beach going. Like you're going to have like
right. I wonder. It's probably going to be some type of smart vehicle to where it coordinates and operates. Like you might not be able to self-drive it. Like once it's in that mode, it might only be able to go in a straight line trajectory to the next spot. You know what I mean?
But that would be a bigger problem.
But then you have these other cars that
I think
they're communicating.
I think there's going to be like direct routes, like, which I don't know how this would work, but like a train, like train tracks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
They have to follow the tracks. But that would be next to impossible if we're just driving along and I'm stuck in traffic and I'm like, yo, we're out. And then I'm
Well, right. So maybe the only way for that then to work would be, okay, maybe you don't take off from the pad, but like, hey, there's another pad 10 miles down the road. I have access to be able to do that from here. Let me just push my coordinates in on my, it's probably something on the screen, like a navigational button.
There's going to have to be air traffic control.
I guess.
There would have to be.
I guess.
Like if you're putting coordinates in?
No, you're not putting necessarily coordinates in, but it's like, okay.
38 north by...
Or no, let's say you have a Tesla, right?
Yeah.
And you have, or just any vehicle. Most vehicles have like the navigational screens and like the newer vehicles. Well, on your map, if you're stuck in traffic, on your map, okay, where's the next
It'll
pad?
give you an alternate route.
Right, here's the alternate route. Oh, I have the option here. I could fly 10 miles to the landing pad and then go from there. Like I'm allowed to do that. And there's like some on and off ramps.
Yeah, there would have
there.
to be radar in your car so you can see other vehicles.
Right, or since I don't know if I guess this thing can it obviously can hover.
Yeah, it was hovering on the video.
Right. So in your car, so let's say you have one, I have one.
And to give people an idea what this thing looks like, it looks like basically the front of see what they shown in the video doesn't look like that.
Okay, see, I'm looking at a picture. It kind of looks like it has a front end of a Porsche, maybe in some type of way. It's
Yeah,
like
the front end looks nice. The front end looks like Cybertruck-ish, like DeLorean. Looks like the front of a. Watch the video. Turn the video on. There's gonna be an ad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn it on mute.
But so this is the video. They're in Dubai right now, and they started off by.
Oh, I did see this. Never mind. I saw this.
See the front of the car?
Yes.
So it just looks like a little two-seater front of a DeLorean, front of a small car.
It kind of does.
Right?
Okay. Actually, you know what it does? It legitimately looks like a regular. You were just talking about drone. It looks like a drone, a big ass drone.
It looks like a drone, exactly.
Yeah, it's really kind of
looks
what it
like a drone.
The picture had a front end more of a Porsche, but
yeah, and it's got 4 propellers on each corner of the car, and it was just hovering.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
It looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, I again, it just like you have one, I have one. I would imagine the car has to be able to communicate. Like, okay, we're both going to this pad. Well, if whoever's closer, the other car would have to maybe hover in a location until that pad cleared.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a way for it to algorithmically communicate with other vehicles that are using that pad.
There's going to have to also be charging stations like all over the place, just like Teslas, because, if I'm flying around and it's a one-way trip, I'm kind of beat.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Do you think, I bet you there will be a rule where you can't fly over water.
I can see that. Right, because you can see some dumbasses flying.
Dumbasses are going to do it.
Right, like, oh, let's go to Europe from here.
Yeah.
And not thinking like,
yeah,
that's a little bit more than 100 10 miles or whatever the fucking
during New York,
range
you know,
is.
some rich dude in New York and his snot-ass kid is going to be out there.
Dad, I'm
let's
going to
go,
Europe,
man.
baby."
Let's just drive across the ocean, Dad. It's going to happen. But yeah, you know, when I was driving back from Brooklyn, when I went to that Google thing, and I took a picture of it. I don't know what phone it's on, but I took a picture of it. It was basically like a drone in the sky flying around like New York. And it wasn't a helicopter.
Right.
But it looked like that. But it wasn't drivable. You know what I mean? So it was just a drone built as like a real chopper. And they were just, I think it was news crews or I don't know who it was. But it looked like a drone, like a life-size drone just flying around New York.
Interesting.
Yeah, with people in it.
Yeah. Very interesting, man.
Yeah. So they're already, like, technology's been there.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to think about. You know, I think back in the 80s, dude, I would imagine you would have thought you already thought we were all going to have flying vehicles.
I was like, in the year 2000, I'm going to have a flying car. No.
But still kind of cool. I don't know. There's a lot of the logistics to work out, and I can see this to being a very slow trickle progression.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'll be dead by the time.
You? For sure.
Yeah, that's like 3.5 years.
You're being that generous.
I know. I'm living a long time, bro. It's a long time.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool, man. But anyways, that kind of does it for that article. Any other thoughts you have on that, buddy, before we wrap up?
No, I'm excited. I hope they move this along.
Yeah, I do too.
I want one.
I do too. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for listening and watching. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe on YouTube if you want to watch video. Also, you can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Where else? I said Spotify, I think. You can also support on Spotify, as a matter of fact. If you'd like to donate, you can donate for 99 cents per month up to $9.99 if you wish. Otherwise, just watching, subscribing is a tremendous help. We greatly appreciate it. Where can everybody find us, my friend, Mr. Slang?
We are at Bourbon Blunts on Twitter, at Jimmy_the_J on Twitter, at digital_slang. At Bourbon Blunts on Instagram, at digital_slang on Instagram. And that's basically it. Again, guys, watch the video on YouTube and follow us on Spotify or whatever podcast platform you are using. But we will be back soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening and watching. Appreciate you. Bye.
Deuces.